The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, good morning, boys and girls. This is Billy Ray Valentine from the offices of Duke & Duke, 100 South Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The first picture that I posted into Tiger TV today is from 1946. It shows the digital equipment for the first computer. This was done at the University of Pennsylvania. Can you believe that? Pretty big idea, right? But let's go back to our book, The Experts Speak, because in 1977, the president of Digital Equipment Corporation said there is absolutely no reason for any individual to have a computer in their home. And following that, we're going to do a little bit of political satire from this book. From the Wall Street Journal, 1995, he says, Bill Clinton lose to any Republican who does not drool on stage or gets caught in bed with a 14-year-old boy. So, folks, this is what politics is all about. So we'll see what happens with the rest of it. We'll go from there. We have some big things happening in the market. One of the big things is that we have our good friend from Astro Trend, Norm Winsky, will be on at the half hour. He's got his usual repertoire of wonderful trades, and he has great, I think he was long earthquake futures because he certainly predicted something like that was going to happen. And very amazing how some of this stuff actually works. The first one I wanted to show you folks is from the our good friend John Murphy. And what I'd like to do is to post this so you can see it, and we'll take a look at this. What this is the number of new highs that are being made. And as you can see, when we were making new lows, when we were making the big ABCD pattern in the futures and also the the Dow Jones and everything else down on February the 8th, the new lows were recording new lows, and now we're recording new highs. This is they interpret this as very, very bearish, folks. But if you go back and look at historically when this has happened, it's not nearly as bullish as someone might appear. The last two times we had this occur was in 2014, and then also again in 2011. And then we also had it again in 2015, and we're getting it again in 2016. So each time, the last three times that we've recorded new highs like this, the market was in a spot, to really, take a big header to the downside. Whether that's going to be the case or not, and whether it's related to this oil deal or not, I have absolutely no idea. But one thing that we do know is that we've had some very interesting patterns completed here this past week. We talked about these on Friday. We had the big ABCD pattern, the three drive to a top pattern in the S&P 500. As you can see that completing quite nicely. We also have the pattern for the Dow Jones Industrial Average doing exactly the same thing. And then we also had it again, but the most important one, of course, is the New York Stock Exchange one. That is the one that is the, what I believe is the most important of any of the ones that we're looking at. And as you can imagine, why I'm stalling here is I can't find it. What did I do? I just had it here on my program, and now it's disappeared. Shut the front door and raise the rent. We'll catch this puppy here a little bit later. We will get it. But anyway, there's three drive patterns forming. We have them in the S&P, we have them in the Dow Jones, and we have them also in the NASDAQ. But the NASDAQ is actually even more important from a longer-term perspective because of the fact that let's do the New York Stock. Well, let's do the NASDAQ one first here because I wanted to show you. This is a perfectly, if you want a definition of a head and shoulders pattern, folks, and this is a long-term weekly chart that we have here in the NASDAQ. We'll put this up and let you take a look at it. This is a perfectly symmetrical one because you have the shoulders are directly equal to the heads, from the head to the two shoulders are equal, plus the right shoulder where we are right now is making a 78% retracement from the high that we made back on December, which makes the lower shoulder high, which tips it to the bearish side, quite a bit. So this is what we have looking at it right now. So whether this is going to be good or not, I don't know, because we got all these patterns and all the things are lined up. It's a question of whether we do in fact roll over from here. That'll be the key. Now, we've had some news about the oil market overnight. Oil was down about $3, almost $3 a barrel at one time right after the opening, and then it proceeded to make a small ABCD pattern over the night, getting back to the 39.5 level, which was nothing more than a 50% retracement of the big move down. I'm not so sure this thing is all based on oil. Like, there's got to be other things that are involved with this, but frankly, that's that's what it looks like from my area right here. Now, I've had a request. That's the main stuff of this. I got to stop the music. Just a minute. We got to get the. We got to stop the music. We got another 3-drive pattern that we really need to pay attention to if you like 3-drive patterns, and fortunately I do. This is the silver over the last 3 months, and you can see we've completed the 1, 2, 3 drive to a top pattern. We've completed the ABCD pattern. We also took out the highs of October of 2015 by 2 cents. And didn't go anywhere. That in itself would be a little bit scary, but keep an eye on the silver. That's another one. So we got a whole bunch of 3-drive patterns happening today, so you want to watch that very close. Gold's had a pretty good bounce. We've rallied to a 38% retracement of the move down, and that's it. Oh, we have one other 3-drive. Let's put this one up here so we can take a look at it. This is the SDS, and you'll see here that we also have a 3-drive pattern happening in the SDS pattern also. So we'll watch that one also a little closely today and see when the market breaks out that these patterns will fail, and then you have to stand aside, and there's nothing else you can do about that, because markets are seldom wrong, but men are often wrong. Okay, I've had a request, and I am going to honor that request, and this is about the painting that's in my office. These are the rules that I did way back in 1975 and 76. This hangs in my office right behind me. It's about 3 feet by 3 feet. It's an oil painting on canvas by a very famous California painter. Her name was Elsie Darnielle. I traded for the family and actually did relatively well. So she painted this for me. These are the patterns that I looked at. This was actually done pre-Gartley. This was done in 74, and I didn't find the Gartley until 1975. And so this was one of the things. But I'll go over them for people that are listening. The first one is never add to a losing position. That's the dumbest thing you can do, folks, because you're not only wrong when your analysis, but you're increasing your risk exposure, and you don't want to do that. We'll cover number 2 when we get back from a break. 877-927-6648.
John Logan has just announced that he is hosting a workshop Wednesday, April 20th for all TAS Profile Scanner Plus subscribers, opportunities in the current market, and strategies to profit. In this hour-long workshop, John Logan will use the TAS Profile Scanner Plus to give you a current breakdown of the sectors in the market and the opportunities that are present, as well as providing subscribers with the best strategies to trade with to profit when using this powerful piece of market scanning software. Right now, you can sign up for the TAS Profile Scanner Plus at the front page of TFNN.com. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is such an amazing piece of software that we're even offering a no questions asked money-back guarantee guarantee for all new paying subscribers. Don't delay, as John Logan's subscriber event is coming up soon. Sign up now for the TAS Profile Scanner Plus and be up and running within minutes using this powerful piece of market scanning software. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, we're going to get back to these little rules that I have, and the one that I'm going to do now is number 2 is when in doubt, stay out. That's a rule from W.D. Gann. Number 3, plan your trading and stick to it. That means you got to have a little bit of patience and a whole lot of discipline. Number 4, take equity out for rainy day periods. You got to enjoy yourself when the bucks are coming in. That's the main thing. Number 5, never close a trade without a legitimate reason. That's from Amos Hofstetter of Commodity Corporation. Number 6 is for all eternity, and that is stocks are placed for protection. Be sure to use them. Because if you don't use stops, you're telling the market that you know more than it does, and we know that's incorrect. Number 7 is the only true facts in commodity trading are fear and greed. Number 8, never allow a substantial profit to become a loss. Number 9, distribute your risk equally over several markets. And number 10, never hedge a losing position. And that means if you're in one position, don't hedge it just to work yourself out of it, because then you've got 2 decisions to make and you'll most probably make them both wrong. So just make sure that you try to. You can make your own rules, but those are the ones that look very, very interesting to me. So we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. So we'll watch that as we go through here. We've had another request about a particular stock that we're going to take a look at right now, if you'll give me 1 second to get it pulled up here. And that is a stock of one of our favorite companies, Goldman Sachs. And we'll put it here and let you take a look at it, because this is a stock that's been in a very strong bear market since May 19th. If you remember that day, we had Norm Winsky on with the moon making a new moon and Mercury going retrograde, and he called that top. And as you can see here now, we've had a 3-drive pattern in the Goldman Sachs here over the past month, and it stopped at the 38% retracement and then backed off. We made that big ABCD with the rest of the market back on February the 8th, but frankly, this market did not rally very much, which is a sign of a whole lot of weakness. So we'll keep an eye on that because this is a really bearish chart. Now, if we can get Goldman Sachs up about another 5% above the 165 level, then this whole thing will change. But that's the way it looks like right now, is that it's holding its own. Regarding the action last night, we broke down quite a bit in the futures, 13, 14 points, not a big deal. Then we rallied back to a perfect 61% retracement of the high that we made on Friday that came in at 2072. So if we can get the market to get above, 2072, we could even go up to possibly test that old high at 2082 and maybe test the ultimate high at 2091 if that is going to be, if that's possibly going to be the case of what we're going to be look at. Okay, now we have the next one is that we wanted to look at that someone asked about, which is Starbucks. This is another one of the stocks that's in the news, and we will bring it up to let you take a look at it. And you'll see that it also has a bearish configuration with lower highs, and we just hit the 786 retracement here just last week. And with the rest of the market going higher, we did not do that. All we did in Starbucks was back, to rally back a little bit. So we'll see it, folks. From looking at all these charts, and I'm talking about, I looked at probably over 100 charts this weekend. It really looks very similar. Only upside down from where we were on March the 5th of 2009. That's the way it looks like to me. I don't have that same cycle configuration at the top like I had at the bottom of March of 2009, but tops are certainly they're a little more difficult to pick because greed can really go a little crazy to the upside, just like fear can to the downside. But I just don't. I mean, there's some really strong timing things coming from guys like Bill Meridian, who's been on our show, Norwinski, Shane Smullian, Arch Crawford, and of course we've got word from Bill Ehrman also that's saying that April 15th to 17th area is very, very important. So that's what we're looking at. If we go across the globe and look at the other markets like the Chinese market and some of the others, you're looking at the same type of thing happening that makes us wonder whether we're going to be going up from this area or not. But we'll just have to wait and see if that's going to happen. Even what's interesting here is with the stocks selling off today, we're not getting any flight to quality or risk off thing with the Treasury bonds and Treasury notes, because they're selling off also. Now, they made some major, Fibonacci retracements last week and have sold off considerably. We're down well over $1,000 in the notes, which fortunately we happen to be short that, which is doing okay. And we're also short the euro from a pretty high level, and that's doing okay, even though it's getting a 38% bounce this morning. I really think we're getting ready for something really big to happen in here this week. And usually surprises will happen the opposite of what's going on. And if we look at that advanced decline line, that could be the the final thing that makes it go. Folks, when you see the advanced decline line going up like that and taking out the highs of May, that just means that there were more stocks advancing than declining. And if you look at the New York Stock Exchange Index, which we're going to do right now, you'll see that this has followed the exact replica of what Jim Bartolioni told us just not too long ago. And if you'll give me 1 second here, I will put this up and you'll see it, that we are spot on at a 61% retracement. This is the long-term weekly chart on this too, so you want to be able to pay attention to it. And if I can just get the right toggle switch, I will be fine. Hold on a second here. We'll put it up. There we go. And you'll see that we went right up to this 61% retracement. And that also is a 135 pattern that is also occurring. In fact, you could be a little bit creative and find a head and shoulders pattern there also, but it's not as clear as the one on the Nasdaq. The one on the Nasdaq, you will not find a more perfect head and shoulders pattern. It's impossible. It has everything that you could ask for: time, price, ratios. It's all there, and all it takes to fail is to one really strong day, either today or tomorrow, taking out those highs of Friday with a little bit of a gusto of like 0.5% or something, and this thing could go a heck of a lot higher. So you've got to be able to, be prepared to be wrong if these things do fail. So we'll watch them very, very, very closely. The German DAX and the Hang Seng and the Chinese markets, all of these markets are still in really strong downtrends and have not changed very much at all. Let's take a look here quickly at the Treasury notes, because they're breaking down now. They're getting down into that low that we made. Actually, we're a little bit below the low on Friday, which is we're approaching the 50% retracement of this move. So, which is sort of surprising because of the fact that we have a relatively weak stock market. 877-927-6648. Stay tuned for Norman the Wizard Winsky.
TFNN has just announced a new Tiger Dollar sale that will run through this coming Monday only. It's tax day on April 18th, and what better time to lock in extra savings on any TFNN good or service with the purchase of Tiger Dollars. From now through April 18th only, we've doubled the bonuses that normally come with any Tiger Dollar purchase. Instead of a 10 to 20% bonus, we've doubled each number, and you can now get a 20, 30, or 40% bonus on whatever you spend. Tiger Dollars never expire and can be used for any TFNN good or service. Once you purchase your Tiger Dollars and receive your 20 to 40% bonus on whatever you spend, you can then apply them to your subscriptions going forward, as well as any course, workshop, or service that we offer at TFNN. Don't forget that tax day falls on April 18th this year, and now is the perfect time to get your Tiger Dollars. For all the details and to get your Tiger Dollar bonus today, visit the front page of TFNN.com now. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we have our good friend and market technician from Astro Trend, Norm Winsky, on the air. Norm, are you there?
Yes, sir, Larry.
Norm, I had 3 emails about the earthquakes in Japan and how you figured that out. I mean, that's really an I know you've done it before, but was that all lunar related? Is that what that's about?
No, it was about those station points. You had Mars and Pluto turning retrograde together within 24 hours, and that hasn't happened since 1674.
Well, did we have an earthquake back then?
That's
before my time.
Let's see. What was going on that day, Larry?
Oh boy, 1674. That's even after Da Vinci and all those guys. I'm trying to think. That's in the Isaac Newton, right before the Isaac Newton era. So whatever that is. Hey, let's forget about that. You've been done so well with the market. People want to know what you're thinking about the stock market and stuff, and they could care less about the earthquakes. Were you long earthquake futures, by the way, or not?
I didn't know they had any.
I didn't either. I was just making that up. They'll probably have them next week, so we'll see.
It'd be nice if they would accommodate me that way.
Amen. Okay,
so hopefully somebody can see my screen. And so let's just do a quick review. Since I was on April 6th, I was on for the new moon at perigee. That's when that happens. That's your syzygy or supermoon. Occurs alternating cycles of 14 months. Every 7 months you either get a new moon or full moon at apogee or perigee. And the perigee is when the moon is at its closest point. Apogee is when the moon is at its farthest point. And so that was an important lunar cycle there on the after the close of the 6th. And then you can see on the chart here, I have the S&P chart here and show you that on the 7th, that was a nice low. That was actually the that was pretty much the low of the month. Okay. And then we had another big date I mentioned was coming up here. We're going to talk about. And, and I had some mathematical points around the 7th to the 8th for sort of a mathematical symmetry point. And also today, 18th, we had the square number 2000. You mentioned March of 2009. If you count for March the 6th, the low day, 2,601 days, that's 51 squared, Larry, comes out to today. So that's pretty neat. And then we had the big, also, we'll be talking about that in a minute, but we had the big, what we just talked about was that Pluto and Mars were turning retrograde over that weekend, and that's my top thing, are the station points when the planets, due to the apparent motion from how they look from Earth, when they turn either direct or retrograde. When the planets change direction, the markets tend to change direction.
That relates to the speed of the planets too, doesn't it? When it does that, they goes from zero and then back and forth. Is that how that works?
Oh yeah. Well, the speed of the planet would be relative to Earth would be zero at the station point. Yep.
Okay.
Moving ahead, I threw something in here just for you, Larry, because I know. Because we just talked about the syzygy on the 6th. It was at the night of the 6th, morning of the 7th. And I thought, well, you might, we'll take a look at silver, because you always like to talk about your story about trading the silver on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
So on top of page 2 here, I threw in the silver chart. And you can see here that was near a nice low there for the silver. Moving on ahead, looking ahead, the next big point I had was Jupiter and Uranus were lining up on the night of the 12th. I'll go back real quick, back to the S&P chart, so you can see how that did on the S&P chart here. There's the you can see the arrow there on the S&P chart. And
let me get that back in here again, because I moved on to silver now. Back to the.
Sorry,
okay, go ahead. No, we're good. No, you jump around. You're the king of the hill, pal. You do what you want.
All right, don't want to make you dizzy.
No, I'm already dizzy.
All right, you got that chart up?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. You see my green arrow there? That's the 12th. All right, there you go. All right, now we're going to move ahead, Larry. Moving ahead to page 2 under the silver chart. We mentioned the Jupiter-Uranus thing. Uranus, in particular, Jupiter was in Virgo, so that's soybeans, and Uranus is copper. And so let's go look at soybeans. The soybean chart was pretty nice looking in that. Now, right on the full moon there, the new moon that we had back on the 6th, you can see that was just about, I think that was the low of the month, I think, So, if you're trading these grains, by the way, you better be looking at the moon, because this is, I have a very simple little trading system. I have it in my letter every month, just telling you how to use the lunar cycle and a combination of lunar cycle and Mercury trade these grains. I always call the grains it's like the no-brainer market,
Yeah.
So we had a breakout here on the 13th, where the Jupiter-Uranus thing was. And then we kind of went into a extension of the channel there. If you look at that channel, it kind of reminds me of Gann's tunnel through the air. Right?
Sure.
Anyway, moving on ahead now. And then Uranus is copper. Here's your copper market, and we had a nice top right there on the Jupiter-Uranus lineup on the 13th. I think that was so far the high of the month.
So far,
so good. Underneath the copper chart, we have all about this weekend, which was when we had the Mars turning retrograde and Pluto turning retrograde, and Larry, that Pluto, it's not, all those astronomers and people said Pluto's not a planet. There's no way that they could ever influence anything, and just tell those folks in Ecuador that, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
There you
Now,
go. So
one question,
Yes, sir.
Norm. I know you did a lot of work with W.D. Gann and Evangeline Adams and stuff, and Gann was really big with the planet Mars. Is that correct? Didn't he have a lot of notations on his charts related to Mars?
Yeah, but I don't think you could just single out Mars. I mean, his famous soybean chart in 1948, he's got Mars and Jupiter plotted on there, and when they come together for a conjunction at the top, he's got that on the top of the soybean chart. That was the high of the soybean market, I think, within a day or exactly that day.
Okay,
Yep.
next, fire away, buddy. Go ahead.
That's one of the funny things about Gann. Most people look at his charts, they don't realize what they're looking at there. That soybean chart is got the planets all over it. If you don't know the symbols, though, you're not going to get it.
Sure.
All right, anyway, so we have Pluto turned Mars. Is the problem with Mars is is associated with Aries, which is iron and steel and things like that, where we don't really have any futures of trade. And but we do have Pluto, and that it has to do with cocoa, hogs, and bonds. And because it's in Capricorn, also has this association with coffee. So let's go look at those markets. Here's your coffee market. I told you when I was last on here what happened back here on March the 23rd. That was with the 1 day of Saturn turning retrograde, which is the planetary ruler for coffee. And when the planetary ruler for commodity goes retrograde, that's usually, as I mentioned, tends to have a longer term negative effect on prices. Now we're here. Unfortunately, we're not really at a higher or low on the coffee. We're kind of consolidating here. And I think we're going to come to an apex here either to the next day or so, maybe today. And this thing's probably going to break out one way or the other because Pluto turned retrograde over the weekend.
Okay, we got to take a break here. Stay with us, okay? We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thanks, Norm.
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, don't miss out on the Market Safe Commodity Solution CD from Everbank. This is the second running of their popular 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD, which gives you exposure to 8 equally weighted commodities, including WTI crude oil, gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, corn, and sugar. With annual pricing caps of 70% per component, you could earn up to 70% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There's no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this indexed CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The May 19th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member, FDIC.
It's 2016, and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the three hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, sponsored by Nadex. Up next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're with Norm Winsky of Astro Trends. And Norm, I believe we're on the cocoa market now, or hogs?
Yes, sir. Page 4, top of page 4. We were looking at the cocoa chart. Interesting. I know you're a Fibonacci fan, Larry, and if you look at this chart, and if you take my word that Pluto has a pretty good relationship here with cocoa, and we just turned retrograde with Pluto, that we're looking for a change of trend in this market. And if you get your calculator out, I think you'll find out the cocoa is now retraced this down move from late March to early April, and I think we're just about back to a 618 retracement.
Looks spot on to me.
There you go. Have a cup of hot cocoa, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. We're going to do hogs next.
We're doing hogs next. Scrolling on down for hogs. There, look at those hogs. Look like they're looking for a trough. That's a little joke there, Larry.
Yeah, I got it. I'm a little slow, but I'm still there.
There you go. So anyway, we made a nice high there in March, and we're down. And again, Pluto, it has to do with hogs. Cocoa, believe it or not, cocoa and hogs are kind of like astro cousins, you know. And so they sometimes turn at the same time. You can see they both topped about the same time in March. And so now the hogs are getting, pretty oversold here, I would think, at least on a short-term basis. I know your buddy Rich Anderson was talking about hogs earlier in the week, or last week, I should say. And so look for, I think the bottom of this channel is just a little lower. It'd be nice if we got a little bit of a mini panic here today and got down to the maybe 76 level there, and then you're at the bottom of the channel. Then I think you can get a nice bounce,
Norm, we have one of our listeners has just talked about your letter where you said you didn't even want to go out to your mailbox this weekend because of the potential of big loss of life and stuff. I mean, that was really an amazing prediction. So did you go out to your mailbox? Was everything okay?
Yeah, I might exaggerate just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, I understand. We all do that, for sure.
I was doing that to make a point. I actually had to go out and run some errands, and I was watching or looking around though for any suspicious.
You took your armored Humvee and went out and just did your shopping.
We had the tank, and the whole thing. There you go. All right. Anyway, there's your hogs, and so we'll see if they find a trough today. Right?
Okay.
Let's move on ahead now. We're going to page 5, top of page 5. Now I've added some additional factors that happened this morning. We have the U.S. natal chart. That's where the planets were on July the 4th, 1776, being triggered. And so that means we're going to look at U.S. financials, such as we already looked at the stock market. So we'll also look at bonds. You were mentioning their siblings, the notes and the like a senior moment there, Larry. So notes
Yeah.
and the what else?
Notes and bonds.
That other stuff, right? So anyway, there we go. All that debt, that the government owes. And so here you go. Here's your T bonds. I'm not too wild about this thing right now. It's kind of in the middle of a chart, but it'd be you gotta go over everything here and see where the opportunities are. So it's kind of in the middle of the channel here. So I don't see anything really terrific there. It gets me excited. Not like to find good opportunities on these markets. I just jump back to the hogs just for example. You want to see a market that's extremely overbought, oversold. That's where, and if it lines up with one of these key astro dates, then you got a good opportunity for a turn in the market.
Right.
Moving on down here, we're going to take a quick look at the dollar. Now, the dollar is a little more interesting, and the dollar is now bounced back up to the top of what could be this trading channel here. And so we might be getting a little turn here, a little pullback on the dollar from here. When I was last on here, I think in my letter, I said watch the 93.50 level for a possible pullback low on the dollar, and that happened last week, I think.
Yep, last week on Thursday.
I was off by about, I think maybe 13 points on the dollar. I think it got to about 93.63, something like that.
Well, we're taking a vote on whether we're going to have you back on the show or not. If you're going to be that far off on the dollar, we want exact lows, exact highs. Otherwise, you're toast.
Well, I'll hand out goodies. How about that? Hand out treats. I'll get treats.
Amen to that.
There we go. So page 6, we're up to page 6 now. So what's coming up in the future? I'm gazing into my crystal ball, Larry. I see a full moon on the 21st after the close of the night, 21st at apogee. There you go. We're in the syzygy season. Makes a great Scrabble word, too. SYZYGY, also in pop culture. Called a supermoon when the full moon or new moon lined up with apogee or perigee. And so look for some of the same things we had earlier. It might not as powerful this past weekend, but when you do have these supermoons, you can get flooding and natural disasters, and you might get a little pop-up on the seismic meter there,
Well, they certainly had that this week, that's for sure.
Yep, and so watch your grains, of course, because it's in, you got lunar and metals, grains and metals, and also because the full moon will be in Scorpio, that's going to be cocoa, hogs, and deep bonds. And we already looked at those charts a little bit later after the 22nd. But again, we have a repeat of the Jupiter-Uranus thing we had back on the night of the 12th. And so look at those same markets. We're going to be looking at copper, and because Jupiter's in Virgo, you're looking at soybeans. On the 25th, you got this is experimental. This is a U.S. chart, but I have been monitoring a possibility that because it's lined up with the U.S. Neptune, where Neptune was when the country was founded on July the 4th, 1776. This might have a connection with oil, so this could be a big date for oil, the night of the afternoon of the 25th. Coming up now, here's the next big window. Remember, I was really excited about this past weekend, Larry, and so the next huge window, it looks like the 28th. We got some things happening here with I know you love Mercury retrograde. That's going to be the afternoon of the 28th. Watch again your grains. Big on Mercury and stock market. It's a big basket of everything, so all this stuff should affect the stock market. And then we had the Saturn-Pluto lineup, which that was, if you remember the crash we had back in August, that corresponded, that bottomed right to the day when Saturn and Pluto were lined up there that morning of I think the morning of the 24th of, was that August? I think so. Yeah, I think that was right. And so watch for cocoa, coffee, hogs, oats, stocks, tea bonds at that time. So that's the next, what I think is really next huge window.
How about we have you on the show that day?
I'm going to be busy probably at the end of the month there trying to crank out the next letter.
Okay, so well, whenever you're free, just let us know.
If you don't mind, I'd like to come back in maybe early May.
That sounds good.
All the folks can always contact me. That's what I'm going to talk about next, and so they can learn how to do this. I have a free class So I teach you how to do this. Not only do you learn Astro, but in my letter I have Astro, I have advanced Fibonacci. You can learn about what Lucas numbers are. I have a mathematical model, where I forecast the stock market using that stuff. And fractals. I do fractals, and all kinds of great things. And
that comes with a money back guarantee, correct?
Absolutely. Larry, it's all free with a money back guarantee.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's
There
like
you
a
go.
broken. That's like a broken drum.
Because of you, Larry, because you're such a good friend. If your people mention Larry, I'm going to give them double back their money.
There you go. You can't beat that.
All free.
Listen,
so anyway, here's how to get a hold of me.
Okay,
we got to talk fast, right?
No. Listen, what I'll do is we'll cover that after the break here. So thanks for joining us, and I'll cover this right after the break. I'll show
I'm
the
going to put it on the screen there so the people on YouTube better
It's
can
coming
see
up.
that.
It's coming up right now.
And make sure you get my email, not my website, because the.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we've got Norm Winski's contact page up there. His Skype name is norm.winski, W-I-N-S-K-I. His website is www.astro-trend.com. His telephone number is 239-594-3939, and he offers a money-back guarantee of a free seminar, and believe me, it's worth every penny. Even if it costs $2,000, it's worth every penny. So if you don't take advantage of it, I can't help you any farther than that because it's not going to be available for very long. He does this as a favor to our folks here at TFNN who provide a lot of great educational stuff. Frankly, I don't know why he does it for free, but that's just norm. He gives things back, and that's what the name of the game is, because you can't take any money with you. You're going to leave with the same amount that Gates has, Warren Buffett, and Adnan Khashoggi, and all the other rich men in the past, John Paul Getty. So you got to be careful there, folks, to, if you got a chance to do it, you'll be able to look at it. Your email for Norm is Nwinsky at embarkmail.com, embarkmail.com, embarkmail.com. It's frankly, unless you're in a foreign country, it's easier to just call him because he likes to chat. And he'll probably give you a little extra information as you go through that anyway. Folks, as we started this show, we talked about some major 3-drive patterns that we're having. On the upside, we have 3-drive patterns in the S&P. We have 3-drive patterns in the Dow Jones and 3-drive patterns in the S&P cash. We have a head and shoulders pattern on the weekly chart of the NASDAQ. And then we also have a 3-drive to a bottom pattern in the SDS. All of this is for naught if we get the Dow up about 100 points today, because that means all these numbers will be breaking, and that's not going to work. So you're just going to have to, look out into the future. We also have a 3-drive pattern in silver up there at that 1638 level. We did take out the October highs, so keep an eye on that. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.